The third self-regulation technique that I'm going to teach is called softening the gaze. And you may have heard the term tunnel vision. So when we go into this fight, flight, freeze response, or a sympathetic response in our nervous system, our vision becomes very narrow and we're not able to see the things in our periphery. I've only experienced this a couple times in my life, and one of them was when I was doing the lead certification at the climbing gym. So at a climbing gym, there's a couple different ways to climb, and lead climbing is where you climb up from the bottom and clip into hardware as you go. So you're clipping into these bolts in the wall as you climb. And if you fall right before a clip, you're gonna fall twice as far as your rope is out. So if you're 5 feet above your clip, you're gonna fall 10 feet, and you'll most likely be safe. I mean, there's a chance you'll bang your knee or something. You're not gonna die, but it is a little bit scarier than top roping. When you're top roping, if you fall, the rope stretches a couple inches, but there's really no big drops, and it's quite a bit less scary. But lead climbing is essential to do most of the cool routes out in the climbing world. So lead climbing is important. At the gym, you have to certify. And when I was doing my lead climbing test, a member of the gym staff had to come watch me. So I've got someone watching me doing something kind of scary, and I got freaked out. And I started to get this tunnel vision where I couldn't even see these handholds that were close to me. And the harder I tried, the more I gripped, and then the more my muscles got tired, the less I was able to see the holds. I couldn't really think clearly, and pretty soon I messed up and I fell and I didn't pass my lead certification. So that's tunnel vision. Your vision just gets narrower and narrower, and you're not really able to see other options. Now, this is a natural fight, flight, freeze response, and it probably has some function somewhere, but it's certainly not helpful when we need to be calm and see the big picture. And you'll notice that the same thing happens in our minds when we're stressed out. We're not able to look around and see lots of options. So you'll notice, like, if you get in a big argument with someone, you'll just kind of say what you have to say, and then afterwards, when you're calm, you'll think, oh, well, why didn't I say this? Or why didn't I respond in this way? And that's because your mental capacities also get very limited and narrow when you're stressed out, and when you're calm, they expand and widen. So, long story short, one of the ways you can trigger your vagal nerve to send a message to your brain to calm down is by using your peripheral vision. So the way you do this is you can just keep looking straight ahead, looking at the screen, and as you do that, keep your eyes pointed forward, but start to notice the things in your periphery. Notice what's going on at the edges of your periphery. And as you do this, by softening your gaze and opening up your peripheral vision, that triggers the vagal nerve to send messages of safety to your body and to relax the nervous system. Again, I like this activity because you can do it pretty much anywhere. If you're in a stressful meeting, you can just soften your gaze for a minute. No one's going to notice because you're still looking at whatever you're supposed to be looking at.